Today we're talking Thanksgiving events at your local library. Stay tuned to find out.
Hello and welcome to Couple Chat.
Where we
Parents.
discuss topics for you.
Parents. I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. Let's chat. We are here today on our second Thanksgiving episode as Couple Chat.
The podcast.
Because
I think we probably did a Thanksgiving episode back when we, tried to do this
with the videos.
Ago.
Yeah. And for this one being very reminiscent of last year's, for all of you who listened last year who want to take a listen back, pumpkins are fruit. I was wrong.
Wow. Said that live, recorded. Wow. Did everybody hear that?
I was wrong. Matt was right.
Wow. She went, excuse me?
Huh?
She went a step further than I thought she was going to go and actually said I was right. So thank you. I know my fruit.
Oh, sure. Well, it's funny because we found that out no, we didn't. We found that out probably right after asking Google, but
but we don't remember doing that.
We do not. But we also found that out when I was reading this book to Emma the other day.
And the book is?
And the book is called The Pumpkin Seed Secret, a life cycle poem.
Yeah. I like it. It's a really great book.
Yeah. I love how it's the life cycle, but like it gives your kids like the information that there's really no wrong way to have a pumpkin, and they can carve it. They can not carve it. It can be a house for the bugs and the animals in the woods. It can replant itself. It can bud more pumpkins as, the life cycle continues on and on and on.
Right.
And I really, really enjoyed this book. The words are by Hannah Barnaby and the pictures are by Cedric Abt, and that's spelled ABT, like American Ballet Theater.
Yeah, that's what we were all thinking.
Yeah. But it's a great resource, and we actually obtained this from our library. We borrowed it.
Segue.
So, yeah, I mean,
you've been spending a lot of time at our local library.
I have been. I've actually been spending it at two specific locations.
Right, because we're like smack dab in the middle.
We are, yeah. It's about like 1.8 miles to one branch and like 2.7 to the other. So depending on what side of town we're on, Emma and I will go, because right now I am staying at home with her. And we just go for an hour. Sometimes it's 3.
Yeah.
Depending on the type of day we're having. And it's really become like a weekly event. And if we don't go, she's kind of confused.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, well, I try to make it at least twice a week.
Yeah.
Depending on the week, it's 3 or 4 times, really depending on like how their schedules align. Because the one library does things once a month, like certain events once a month. They'll do a sensory play once a month.
Gotcha.
And then they'll also do like a storybook and craft once a month.
Gotcha.
So they're only every 2 weeks or so. When the other library does it a little bit more often, they're more like a craft and something else like every week.
Okay.
So that's why I alternate between the two. It helps kind of giving us exposure to different libraries, different book access, because one library is a bit bigger than the other. So their stock is a little bit more to choose from when you're there, instead of like, oh, well, let me look through the online catalog because I know the keywords I'm looking for, but I don't know what the books look like or if they're even available. So that's been nice. I know there's some women who I meet at these events that they travel all over. Mm-hmm. The one woman I met, they came up from like 30 minutes away to go to an event at our library. Yeah. And she was like, oh, well, it was about space, and I wanted her to go to the space one. And this is what people do. And I never even thought about it when I was working, just because it wasn't something that came up in my mind. But once I was work from home or even stay at home, I realized, well, I do need more options to get us out of the house.
And free options too.
Right.
Because, again, now that you're stay at home, we do have less income than we did before. And at the same time, you have to keep this kid busy somehow.
Yeah.
But you also have to keep her educated.
Yes.
Because now she's not going to a daycare where there's somebody that's at least attempting to, teach her things.
Yeah.
So a library is a great place for that kind of resource because, you're not just relying on yourself to figure out how to teach a toddler how to become a human,
Yeah.
A library is a great place to go for that. And I mean, you've come home with lots of books.
Yeah.
So, 20 plus books a few times. So,
Well, it's funny because like for us, when we go, it's usually me and Emma. Sometimes I'll take Nate depending on the time of the event. But when we go, there's always a story time or a craft or sensory or whatever. But they'll put out new things on display. It'll be ever changing. So even if we're there 2 days in a week and some of those books that are on display I had taken and like borrowed, I'll go back in and they'll have a totally different display up. It's like they're ever changing, trying to have this revolving door of books just to like pique people's interest. And it's like, I am interested in that. Like, let me take that home.
right.
And it's just funny to see like Emma be so excited to go there because two things she likes. She loves the story time because she likes being able to like sit with the other kids, participate in the book. With the one library, the librarian actually like sings songs to like get the kids focused.
Nice.
Make sure that they're on their specific like little mat. And then the last song, she's like, and now we're gonna listen. And now we're gonna listen. Like she actually like sits them down and says, okay, now we're gonna read a book. And in between the books, sometimes they do 2 books. So in between the books, they'll sing another song. Or if they see that like, focus is waning, they'll just be like, okay, craft time. But that's the thing. The craft, like they're doing crafts at the library that like they wouldn't necessarily do at school, or I don't have the patience, the materials, or the time to do at home, or the prep, like I don't have time to prep. Like it's just, it's nice to have that resource, especially because like you stated, it's free. Like I've never had to pay for anything at the library. Even in our county, they've no longer like charged fees or anything. So like if you have a late book, they're not charging you a fee. They just want it back.
Right.
The only fee they'll charge you is like if you refuse to bring back the book and you come back to rent more, they're like, no, you have to pay for that book you have still, or bring the book back.
Right.
Before you can rent any more, which is their one like stipulation, their way to keep you from getting more when you owe them.
Right.
But overall, all the library experiences we've had are really nice. The 2 ladies the one at each branch that we deal with are very kind and very good with kids. They have patience of saints, which I am just, most times I'm embarrassed because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's running around, or oh my gosh, he's not listening, or oh my gosh, like how do they do it? And they're just really good at what they do.
Yeah.
And it's funny. So that's number 1 thing. And the number 2 thing is she loves the computer. So what they have is they have specific toddler style computers where they're touchscreen, and they have games set up for them for learning. So they have paint, they have instruments, kind of similar to the games that are on their tablets, which they rarely get because they're only really for like long car rides or distractions at restaurants if they don't have something in color.
Right.
But these games are meant to be learning, and they're based on like the ABC Mouse program and all that.
Right.
So Emma's obsessed. She's absolutely obsessed. Every time she goes there, or I even mentioned the library. She's like, I go to the computer. It's like, okay, well, we're here for a reason. We're here for this, this, and this. And the one library that we have near us has like a whole activity station with like 30 drawers. They have puzzles. They have coloring pages, blocks, a little produce box. So like the produce that you use the fake knife with and you cut up like we have for our kitchen here.
Yeah.
They have that.
Oh, that's cool.
They have all sorts of different stuff. And they just ask if you do play with them, to play with them nicely, be kind, be gentle, and put them back when you're done.
Right.
So literally Emma and I were at the library for like 2.5 hours the other day because we went for the sensory time.
Yeah.
And once it was done, we went back out and she was like, computer. Well, the computers were busy. So they were being taken up. There's only 2 at the one branch that we go to.
Oh, yeah.
So she pulled out these puzzles. These puzzles are like 3 feet. They're huge. One was a unicorn and it was literally like, oh my God, it was huge. And they're like 40-piece sets. And it was so hard, but it was so satisfying once we did it. I mean, she did like 3 pieces, but it was so satisfying for like a person who loves puzzles. I was like, these are so cool. Like I kind of am tempted to like get 1 or 2 for home.
Yeah.
Maybe even getting like Nate like a train one and her like a unicorn one or something. Or like a butterfly. But like it was worth it because we were there for a little longer than I usually like to. But it was nice.
Nice.
And I feel like all of them have something. There's some that have like a little town set up.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
Like in other districts, other counties.
How do you get to go to those?
So for these children's programs, all you have to do is register. Some of them only allow day before registration.
Yeah.
Our branches require 2 weeks before.
Yeah, which has caused you to miss out on some things because it's hard to keep track of that. 2 weeks out is a lot.
They also fill up really fast.
Yeah.
And I do have alerts in my phone now, like when those things are coming up. So that helps. But there are some that like it's 24-hour in advance registration. Some events are drop-in.
Yeah.
So it's literally like, oh yeah, whenever you get the time, like this is the hour we're working on it. Like it's a scavenger hunt or it's a craft or it's just, hang out here and relax and see the books we've got. But yeah, some of the libraries in other counties and stuff, they'll have like a little kitchen. They'll have like interactive toys for kids to like go and play in a section.
Cool.
Yeah. So I definitely like that. And honestly, libraries are free. I mean, to borrow, you need a library card from that county. So like if we were to try to go to another county in New Jersey, we wouldn't be able to borrow, but we could still go to like the children's events or such like that. But yeah, I really enjoy it. And I think it's definitely good for socialization because there are a lot of kids at the one program. So it helps give Emma that kind of school setting, but not really because it's only an hour.
Helps you to socialize as well.
Yes. Mama needs some adult interaction. Yeah. And not you, no offense. But
I hear you. I needed what I did this weekend too, going to, professional panels for filmmaking. It was helpful.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge help. And I think especially because like we can relate to each other, or if the child's younger than Emma, I can say, oh, well, this is what we did. This is what, and they'll be asking for advice, or I'll ask them for advice, or they'll give unwarranted advice, but it's like helpful. It's like, wow, how old is she? Oh yeah, mine did that at that age. And it's like, yeah, well, that's what we're dealing with now.
Yeah. Yep.
But overall, I think the library has definitely come in clutch with us.
Yeah.
We've had tons of books, like you said. We've rented a lot.
Right.
We have up to 60 borrows on each account, so we could each max it out, and like that would fill up our whole living room.
Library,
right? But we'd have to return them. But it's definitely been really nice, and we'll read them at night, or we'll read them during the day, and just have little reading moments. And I hope that it encourages them both, Nate and Emma, to love to read and kind of do that.
Oh, they love books, so.
Because I loved books when I was a kid. I still love books. Like I
don't remember ever having as much as this, you know, but granted, I mean, I'm sure we read books when I was very young, like they are.
Yeah.
But I want to keep this up forever. You know, like as long as they'll let us read to them, or we'll get to a point where we're reading together, or they read, or whatever the case is. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great. It's great family time, and the older they get, the calmer they get, and I feel like the more interested in the stories and the books they get as well.
Well, especially when they're going to be doing the reading.
Yeah.
That'll be
But
nice.
even like when we're doing the reading, it's, you know, like obviously in the early days, they're like, oh yeah, what? Huh? Yeah, book. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, but now, especially Nate, like he's laser focused most of the time on a book.
Yeah.
So. But the big thing that's going on this week is, you know, since it's Thanksgiving, the libraries, they do a lot of like holiday related things.
Yeah.
So, you know, you and Emma went and did a few crafts that related to Turkey Day and whatever the case is. Yeah. And then this week they're doing something really awesome that I'm glad, because we didn't get this opportunity for Halloween for her because she's not in daycare anymore.
Right.
So you want to just briefly talk about that?
Well, they're doing a little Thanksgiving Day parade. They're making their own little craft, and they'll be able to like march it around the library and like it'll be nice. I mean, it won't be as extravagant or as busy as Nate's Halloween parade was, or how her Halloween parade was last year, but I think that she'll really enjoy like being able to show something off. Like, look at me, like this is what I did.
Right.
And then to bring it home and just show how happy she is. And they do this all year round. I mean, they have events all year round, and especially if there's a holiday, they really do try to, you know, gear the kids toward it. And they have every book out there. Like right now, the one branch has Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. They had Diwali when that happened last month or the month before. You know, they have all these holiday books to teach children what it's about.
Right.
So it's not just going to be like a Christmas month next month. It's going to be all the holidays. And, you know, with Thanksgiving coming up and ending so fast, it's like, it's such a whirlwind. Yeah. But it'll be nice. I think it'll be a fun day.
Yeah. I always love Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I'm very thankful for Thanksgiving. Oh, not you. Thanksgiving.
Turkey. Pumpkin cheesecake. That's all it's about, people.
Apple pie.
And I explained this to you on my birthday, how many pumpkin cheesecakes I had. And now that little Kirsten's one that her cousin gave us from the library, or... the library. Look, I got library on the brain. From the bakery that she works at. Well,
it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
I'm so excited about it. And then, you know, amongst other pumpkin cheesecakes like Jackie's Parfait and whatever. So, what?
You said you like my parfait.
I do like your parfait. I love your parfait. It's got layers. Yeah, but anyway, so Thanksgiving. It's tomorrow as this episode premieres. Yeah. So we hope you all have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Not so healthy because we're all going to be eating way too much and sleeping afterwards while our children run around like maniacs. But, you know, healthy in the sense that like we're good. I don't know. Anyway, but if you're interested in watching our episode or listening to our episode from last year, we talk about Black Friday deals and appliances and things of that nature. So go check out that episode if you want some more information about that. Not a lot has changed in a year, so you're going to be able to learn a lot of great things, because last year we updated our appliances in our kitchen for Thanksgiving because we throw Thanksgiving here at our home. Yeah. So it's a good episode. Go check it out if you want to learn more about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Until next time, though, I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. Here are the Hahns signing out. Thank you so much for listening to Couple Chat. Make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify or YouTube Music. You can even subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see this episode in video. Thank you to Hahn Films for editing and producing this episode. Let's chat soon.